I'm Jenny Carlson here with Ryan Aber. We're at the Norman Police Investigation Center where this morning members of the media had a chance to view surveillance video from the night that Joe Mixon hit Amelia Molitor. And Ryan, set up the scene a little bit for us, what we saw this morning, what this whole setup was like.
Well, I think it starts with inside the room. There was about 40 members of the media. They had the video playing on a projection screen at the front of the room. We got to watch it, I think, 4 or 5 times, and really got to take time to look at little details in the video, which lasted a little less than 3 minutes.
And a fairly clear view, not HD or anything like that, but the action was happening very close to the camera angle that we saw. And Ryan, I think what we saw was largely what the police had reported, police reports, the action. But what did you see that stood out to you that maybe wasn't part of the police report?
Well, I think the first, as the video starts, you see Miss Molitor comes over the table, leans over to it, talking to someone on the other side, and a friend who's standing at the end of it. And then she motions for somebody, and a couple seconds later, Joe Mixon first appears in the video. They go back and forth. It doesn't look like anything is really going on, and then it quickly escalates. She pushes him. He sort of lunges in. She slaps him right on the top of his neck area, and then comes the punch, and she hits the table and then hits the ground hard. Does
this clear up some things, Ryan, in your mind, or does this just muddy the waters a bit more? I mean, there was no sound. That was one thing that was the room was silent because there was no sound on this surveillance video that Norman Police had acquired. Does this do something to clear anything up in your mind?
Not a lot after the confrontation part of the thing happens. I think for the most part the description's been out for a while and it was very accurate what we saw. I think the most interesting thing to me was the lead up to it and how she reacted, how he was reacting, and then the aftermath of it. Her trying to stumble and stand off the floor. She staggers back to a chair and sits down for a while before she walks off the screen as the video ends. So I think the before and the after were the biggest takeaways for me. The during, the description was pretty accurate.
Yeah, this was video, by the way, that David Boren, Joe Castiglione, and Bob Stoops all saw before making a decision to suspend Joe Mixon for a year. And I think the force of that punch just stood out to me, Ryan. I think it sort of maybe helped explain why they decided to do what they did in terms of punishment.
Yeah, absolutely. And we figured it would probably be pretty bad for him given just the size difference between the two of them. But yeah, seeing it on a screen and the forcefulness behind what happened is definitely pretty staggering.
All right, we'll continue to follow this story. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.